The biggest mistake people make is avoiding risk, right? You're totally avoiding the risk by not taking a decision. But the probably right thing to do is instead of avoiding risk, get comfortable with risk. Hello. So it's 1:25 a.m. where I am right now, and I'm making this small video to talk about a concept that I've been thinking about just earlier tonight. And this was a, I think, a comment I saw on Instagram, or I was talking to someone on Instagram, and the comment was about how they're currently in college and they're experiencing some kind of FOMO, right? That's how I saw it. But let me tell you the story, and then I'll talk about what today's video is going to be about and what exactly we want to talk about. So, what they were talking about is they're saying, "Hey, I'm from a tier 3 college, and the story was that I am preparing for my exams, and I don't know what's going to happen, but then I'm sort of preparing for placements, and I hope that goes well. But then on the other hand, I also feel like I should be building some stuff on the side. I should be getting into maybe startups or building side projects or working on my skills and then maybe doing freelancing or freelancing side projects and start up some mix of it together." And the question was, what's the right thing to do? What should I focus on? How do I prioritize? And I thought about that for a sec. And the concept I want to talk to you today, in today's video, is that of psychological safety, right? So let me now give you a little breakdown of, if you're ever in that kind of position, what's one way you can make that decision of what should I do? I am paralyzed, right? You're in analysis paralysis. You're like, I don't know what's the right thing to do. So, this is something that I also realized quite late in life, right? I didn't know this from the start, but today, having thought about these things, I can put it to you and I can put it in, this condensed format. But the idea is just that at any given point of time, you have a bunch of decisions you can take, right? I had a decision right now. It's 1:30 a.m. I could record this video for you right now so you can watch it on YouTube, or I could just go to sleep. And I chose to make this video, not right, without going into the details of why I thought so, my thought process, my chain of thoughts. At any given point, you always have a decision to make, right? Let's get that clear first. Whenever you don't take a decision, usually one decision is taken for you, right? So if, for example, I say I want to make this video, but I don't really sit down to start recording it, I don't really set up my camera and everything, the more I keep delaying, the more likely that I just fall asleep. So a decision is taken for me if I don't take it. However, every decision, you never know what's going to play out. There's always that uncertainty of, this can play out this way, it can work out. My side project that I do can start making money. Maybe it, supports me, or, the freelancing I do gets me a client, which gets me more clients, and now I have a freelance career. But of course, you're not going to know that when starting out, right? That's totally normal. The way you need to think about these decisions is, you need to, at any given point in time, right? Let's forget about the past. Let's forget about the future for a sec. At any given point of time, you need to think about, what will give me more psychological safety, which is moving forward as I progress in life, as I start doing new things. What gives me the psychological safety to be able to pursue the things I want, to not feel FOMO about my decisions? What gives me that psychological safety? And in this kind of situation, this example that we're talking about, you never know whether building startups or studying is the right answer. But the thing is, in that moment, what will give you psychological safety is your own feeling of risk, right? Which is, for some people, they might be able to totally chill with getting a bad GPA, building whatever. Maybe after a year they don't get a job, and then they go back to a job if needed, or then they start up or something like that. For some people, you're feeling this pressure as you're going through college. You're like, towards the end of college, I need to figure out some way of making money, or maybe getting hired, or let me put it as a bigger goal of being financially or in other ways independent. It comes down to risk tolerance, which is some people can take that risk of not going heavy on, let's say, academics and then focusing on their own thing. Some people maybe have to slowly adjust to the risk, which is start small with an experiment, do a little bit of freelancing, keep your studies going, but then shift gears when you feel ready to do it. That risk appetite for each person is very different. The biggest mistake people make is avoiding risk, right? You're totally avoiding the risk by not taking a decision. But the probably right thing to do is, instead of avoiding risk, get comfortable with risk. So start with a small amount of risk if you're comfortable with that, and work your way up. Because in the end, it's a very ambiguous world we live in. It's a very uncertain world, right? What's here today might not be here tomorrow. The opportunities of today might not exist tomorrow. However, you will still have to figure out your own mental process, your own way of dealing with ambiguities, dealing with incomplete information where you still have to take an action. So, to sort of summarize, what I'm saying is, whenever you're faced with a tough decision like that, you want to think about, what's my risk appetite, right? Am I ready to risk it all? Sometimes you just don't think about it, but you are ready to take those risks if you actually put it down in plain terms and explore your options, right? Sometimes this kind of risk is about quitting a job, right? Of course, you can quit a job, but you never know whether you're going to get a job immediately, right? Is it going to be difficult? A lot of people don't quit their current job till they get the next one, but then getting the next one requires something else. Maybe they need free time to upskill. Risks will always exist. You can't avoid risk, right? You can't always go down the safe path. However, your own ability to deal with risk, you have to figure that out. And you have to, ideally, over time, increase that risk appetite so that you can do the things that you want to do. So that's the thing with risk. Today, it might be college. It might be something around your academics. Tomorrow, it might be around something around work. If you decide to do your own thing, or whatever your path is in the future, you will face decisions where you don't have the complete information, yet you need to make an action. Try to think about your risk appetite, and that's all I'll say for today. I hope that gave you a couple of things to think about. Let me know in the comments, what thoughts did this video trigger? While thinking about this, what were you thinking about, right? Did this spark something in your mind that you had been thinking about recently? Let me know in the comments. That kind of feedback helps me figure out what kind of videos I should make. And I'll see you again on this channel in a different video. Bye-bye.